Failure is our currency for success. So why is making errors so heavily prosecuted? To get into this topic, let's quickly acknowledge that humans learn. Crazy assumption, right? Our ability to develop new things has brought us to a point where I stand around in my living room and you will sometime in the future sit in front of a screen and listen to what I say. In terms of evolution and what else is going on out there, that's pretty crazy. So learning is the foundation of our civilization. We have three basic ways to learn. We learn by example. Someone shows us something. We learn by explanation. Someone tells us something. And we learn by exploration. We go out there and try out how things work. It's the proverbial finger on the switch of the universe. End of the world switch, just push it, let's see what happens. Only very, very few things are still ingrained into our genetic memory. I'm looking at you, snakes, and spiders for some reason. Learning by example and explanation makes us successful as a species. We are able to carry knowledge over generations, which no other species can do in this manner and in this magnitude. But learning by exploration is the reason anyone has anything to teach in the first place. So making errors, because going out there and trying something new will sometimes lead to errors. So making errors is the reason we are all here, because somebody has made errors. So why does our society stamp down on errors as hard as it does? And it does come down on errors. Or has anyone never asked a stupid question or been in trouble because they forgot something? Even something as trivial as homework? If your answer is an honest no, you might be suffering from a very rare condition that's called psychopathy. Good news, there are healthy ways to deal with this. Please see a therapist for help. For the miserable rest of us who know what failure feels like, I'm sure I don't have to explain. We seem to live at the edge of this constant catastrophe curve, and boy, we only hope that we are not found out. There are some areas where society as a whole and we as an individual seem to tolerate the concept of making errors to learn. But after a baby has learned to walk and talk, leeway seems to be over. So the legitimate question beckons, what the fuck? To understand this, let's first acknowledge that some errors are fatal. Just remember that one guy who went on at full speed in difficult weather until his ship rammed a certain iceberg. So some errors should be prevented, no discussion there. But the intriguing thing is that most errors that prove to be fatal are not one large big mistake. They are smaller errors stacking up until everything just explodes. Keeping this in mind, it is not entirely stupid to be afraid and prohibit smaller errors already. But we do need a certain leeway, a certain amount of smaller errors to evolve, to find out new things. When we create new things, we make errors until we succeed. How many takes do you think I needed for this video? Spoiler, I don't know yet. Now, what do we do with this? We've ascertained that small errors might be a problem too. And let's face it, our lives are so complex, we don't need another strange and complex algorithm on top of it. To replace the algorithm of just stamping down onto every error, I want us to create a different mindset. Once we realize that even the large errors are made of small ones, we can develop the mindset that errors can be compensated. We can ask for help. We can get help. But for this, we have to seriously raise our error endurance. We have to create a climate in which we are not ridiculed because we asked a stupid question or forgot the fucking homework or whatever. The important thing is we as a community, we can change. We can create a new climate. And the very first step I want you to take right now is to head down into the comments. Own up to one error. Something that makes you cringe, but won't kill you if people find out. And when you have done this, go and find another comment of this kind and offer your help, your support, or if nothing is to be done because everything's gone by, your solace. With this, we take the first tiny step towards change. With this, we create a platform where it is easy to own up to our errors. And if we catch them early enough, the fatal ones can be avoided. Most of them. Things will still go wrong. Nature has any number of surprises in store for us. But the errors we make and the stacks we create, we can catch early. We can change our society. And heading down into the comment is a very doable first step. So do it now. And while you're about it, like if you like. Subscribe if you feel like it. And people, spread the word. This is important.